Did you know that when faced with a choice, rats often pick sugar over something as potent as cocaine? Their desire for sweetness is so strong they'll even endure discomfort for it. And here is something interesting. Some humans show similar patterns. Think about people who had weight loss surgeries. Some still can't resist those tempting treats loaded with sugar and white flour, even if it means facing digestive issues afterwards. But can one truly become addicted to food? Some skeptics argue that it's improbable to be addicted to something as vital as food. Unlike the evident addictive components like nicotine in cigarettes or alcohol in beverages, pinpointing an addictive substance in food isn't straightforward. But looking closer, several signs hint at a potential food addiction. The uncontrollable urge to eat, strong cravings for specific foods, experiencing withdrawal symptoms when avoiding certain dishes, and consistently consuming them despite the apparent negative impact on health, weight, and emotional well-being. Ever felt that irresistible urge for your favorite snack? Some people feel this so powerfully that they'll overeat to the point of discomfort, find it tough to quit, and even sideline their daily activities. Because when carbs and fats come together in super high amounts, it's like a turbo boost for our bodies, making our brains light up similar to how powerful drugs might. Today's snacks and meals are a lot different from what our grandparents used to eat. Think about foods that are packed with lots of fats and sugars. You wouldn't just find these foods growing in a forest or field. These modern foods are made to look really appealing, taste super good, and have a smell that makes us want them even more. Ever noticed how some folks seem to eat a lot of those super processed foods? It's curious, especially when you think about how rare you'd see someone eat too many carrots. And when we think about sweetness in our diets, a lot of natural foods like bananas, grapes, and beets contain sugar. But there is a difference. In fruits and veggies, the sugar is mixed with things like fiber and other nutrients, which makes it healthier and better balance for our bodies. How our bodies respond to foods also depends on how much we eat and how fast. For instance, many of us may enjoy a drink occasionally, but you wouldn't catch someone drinking just alcohol. We might add sugar to our morning oatmeal or cereal, but we are not sitting down with a bowl of pure sugar. Interestingly, some vegetables like eggplants and tomatoes contain substances like nicotine, but we don't hear of people being addicted to wedges. Another fun fact: sweet buns filled with poppy seeds, which I used to enjoy when I was little, contain trace amounts of opiates. But you don't hear about anyone getting high from eating a poppy seed bun or muffin. And yet, while the levels of these opiates in poppy seeds are very low and typically not enough to cause any psychoactive effects, they can still be detected in drug tests. The thing is, when sugar is combined with fat, it becomes something our brains really love. Foods that mix these two, like some snacks, have a unique appeal. They affect our brains in a way that makes them so tempting, and that's why it's often hard to say no to them. Imagine participating in a yogurt challenge. You are presented with two options. One yogurt that is rich, sweet, and full of sugar and fat, and another that's a more simple, healthier choice. If you were to eat the rich yogurt consistently for a few weeks, something interesting happens. You start to prefer it. It's not just about its delicious taste. There is actually a reaction in your brain similar to a child's excitement when spotting an ice cream truck. This brain excitement is due to dopamine, our body's happiness chemical. But there is another player here, a receptor in our brain called cannabinoid receptor 2. In studies, animals that can't activate these receptors don't get as tempted by treats or even some strong substances. Certain weight loss drugs go beyond simply helping you shed pounds. They also act as appetite suppressants for specific intense cravings. Imagine the brain as a fortress, where tempting foods and drugs are like intruders attempting to breach its defenses without permission. Now consider the impact of reducing sugary drinks like soda. Parents observed that when their kids consumed less soda, they seemed to miss it, become slightly irritable. And teenagers, if you take away their soda, they seem a bit out of energy, like their batteries are running low. While drinking soda doesn't give you a wild reaction, it's similar to how some people can smoke cigarettes and act normal. A new scientific article caught attention, suggesting that some popular processed foods might be as addictive as cigarettes. This wasn't a completely new concept. It was reminiscent of old studies on smoking. Many once believed nicotine wasn't addictive because it didn't massively change how we felt. Heavy influence from the tobacco industry, the truth about its addictiveness took a while to come out. Similarly, we are now seeing the dangers of heavily processed foods. Studies warn that a diet full of them could increase our chances of dying young by 25%. So it looks like some snacks today are like the cigarettes of the past. Just as people got hooked on smoking, now some foods seem to be making us crave them a lot. Some snacks might be harder to stop eating than we realized. After all, who wants a snack to be in charge of them? Thank you for your attention. Take care.